Blessed be everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about a spiritual crisis that I feel that we're in, as well as other types of crisis that we have been in the past. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Inquisition way back in the 16th century right through, I think it was until the 18th century, and about a psychological phenomenon called mass formation. But before we dive into the topic, hi, I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com, author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path. And if you want to know more about Wicca and witchcraft and how you can craft your Wiccan path, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. So back in the Middle Ages, when witches were being burned at the stake, people were going through pretty much a crisis. There was mass famine, there was the plague, people had a lot of religious zealotry, which was very fundamentalist Christian type of spirituality. People were very paranoid about the supernatural. And so people were not in a very good way psychologically. And when you look at the psychological phenomenon or the psychological thing called mass formation, when a group of people, a large group of people, who are feeling a lack of social bond, feeling alienated from each other, having this free-floating anxiety, have a lack of meaning, and have a sense of free-floating frustration and aggression, it makes them very susceptible to an authority or an organization, such as in the Middle Ages, the church, who infiltrated pretty much the government at the time as well, so they had a lot of influence over the leadership. And if that group or that organization can present an enemy or a threat that can unite everybody together and also provides a solution, all of that anxiety that they would have been feeling over the famine and the plague and all of the other unrest that was going on around that time, all of that anxiety around that can be channeled into this threat that unites them all together. And back in those days, the threat was magic and witchcraft, because people blamed magic and witches for the famine and for the plague. So it was easy to have a scapegoat, and those scapegoats, the witches, were the ones that were targeted and blamed for all of the stuff that was going on. What that did was help bring people together, so people had a common fear. It allowed them to feel a sense of solidarity, and of course the church, who were ruling at the time, had a lot of influence at the time, provided the solution, which was hunt all the witches and everything will be good. Once we eradicate the devil and all of the so-called devil worshippers, then, it's okay, we've got this, it's all under control. And then what happened, of course, with people were dobbing people in, people were making things up, and it just went into what we call a witch hunt. And that same cycle has happened throughout history. It happened in Russia with Stalin, it happened with Hitler, it happened with Pol Pot, and it's happening today. We are in inquisitional energy astrologically. I don't know if I've mentioned that on this channel. I think I may have mentioned it last year sometime about the astrology and that we're in inquisitional energy. And so that was a concern. And we can see it happening and playing out around us now. And the reason for that is because for a long time, a lot of us have felt anxiety, we felt the frustration, we felt the disconnection, we felt the spiritual bankruptcy, because we live in such a material world. Everything is material. We're treated as objects, we treat ourselves as things. We don't treat ourselves as human beings, we don't treat each other as human beings. It's like we're objects. The common science that has been around for decades treats us like machines, like we're things. And so we're very disconnected from who and what we really are. We're disconnected from spirituality because the spirituality of the past we no longer believe or adhere to. We found it very oppressive. So a lot of people are in a limbo, not knowing what they are, who they are, and not knowing how to really find the solution to this anxiety, to the frustration, and to the anger. And so we find that there's various different narratives that are going on, and various different very, very powerful people behind those narratives, funding those narratives, who are basically saying, we have the solution. And over the last 18 months or so, we have had something that has brought us together. We have had something to channel that free-floating anxiety into. And we have had power possessors who have provided the solution. And we also have the inquisition, because now we have the new witches. And I'm going to let you think about who those new witches may be. But from what's been going on in the world around us lately, you can guess who those new witches may be. So have a think about that. And if you think you know who it is, you can let me know in the comments field, but you need to make sure that you don't actually use the word, because otherwise YouTube will censor you and who knows what they'll do. So use code, they'll be fun. We'll try and guess the code. But what I am suggesting here is that the solution to the tyranny that we're seeing around us now, the totalitarian regimes that are around us now, the apartheid that is around now, we have medical apartheid now, here in Australia we do, and all of the terrible things that we're seeing, and accepting, it seems, is a violation against our humanity, our sovereignty as spiritual beings having a human experience, and our freedom. And this is exactly what happened in the Middle Ages with the witch hunts and all of the other regimes that have happened ever since. So in these astrological inquisitional times, if we can connect to who we truly are, and if every human being on the planet could connect to who and what we truly are, if we could come back to understanding that we are sovereign spiritual beings having a human experience, and that we're all having this experience, this human experience as spiritual beings. And if each individual did the work on connecting and reconnecting to nature, reconnecting to spirit, the world will be a very, very different place. So for us, it's important that so we're not getting carried away with all of the craziness that's going on in the world, if we can find that space to connect to spirit, to connect to our true selves, to explore our true selves, to explore the energy around us, the field, to understand that everything is energy, to spend time connecting with nature, and to learn more and research more about what the world really is from a spiritual, energetic perspective, then it's a way that we can help energetically change things in our own lives, because we do have the ability to move energy and raise energy in our own environment. And if we can all do that, then you've got groups of people raising energy, and we need to raise that energy right now. The energy needs to go from being very low vibe, which it is in the mainstream, to a higher vibration. And as each individual does that, it exponentially changes the vibration. So don't go thinking that just because you're one person that you can't bring change. If you can bring change into your own life, then that can filter out, because if the more and more people that do that, the more the energy starts to get stronger. So don't lose hope in this world. Work on your own energy, your connection, and then if there is anything that you can do as part of a community, then do that and bring your high vibe energy into that community, because it's the only way really out of this energy while it lasts. It's not going to last forever. It is to do with the planets. The planets were doing similar things back in the witch trial days. So we just have to make sure that we're not the ones burning at the stake this time round, and but still being able to maintain our integrity and our dignity, and upholding our rights at the same time. So try to end this on a positive note. The whole point of me doing Mystery Witch School, the course and everything, is to try and help people connect to who and what they really are. So that when you are out in the world and you're dealing with all of these sorts of situations, you are a stronger person and you're more empowered and able to make change in your own life and hopefully influence positively the environment around you at the same time. And if you are interested in learning Wicca with me, do have a look at the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy. The link to that is in the description field below this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra from Mystery Witch School. Blessed be.